Secrets and mysteries. Places with healing power. All over the world there are places that are said to have positive healing energy. Some of them have been scientifically studied and explained, but many others have yet to be understood. And yet, stories of miraculous healings in connection with these places appear every year. Lourdes. Lourdes is a famous place of pilgrimage with a history dating back to 1858. That year, 14-year-old Bernadette Soubirous had her first of 18 visions in which the Virgin Mary appeared to her in the Grotte de Massabielle cave. The Virgin Mary apparently told Bernadette to drink the water springing from the cave and instruct priests to build a church there. Lourdes was soon to become one of the most important places of Roman Catholic pilgrimage in the world. Miracles attributed to Lourdes include the miraculous healing of Delizia Ciroli in 1989. When she was 10 years old, she was diagnosed with osteosarcoma, a cancerous tumor in her bones. 2 months after the girl had visited Lourdes, she woke up one day feeling completely healthy. A doctor's examination confirmed that there was no longer any trace of osteosarcoma in her body. Jeanne Fretel also owed her recovery to Lourdes. In 1937, Fretel was diagnosed with a mysterious illness that doctors could not identify and were unable to treat. 11 years later, Fretel visited Lourdes and was almost instantly healed. She then became a nun, and the church proclaimed her healing a miracle. The origin of Lourdes' healing powers, Bernadette's visions, also caused some skepticism, but the numbers are indisputable. 1 year after her vision of the Virgin Mary, there were 32 healings in Lourdes, 7 of which cannot be explained by modern science. Machu Picchu. Machu Picchu is a famous mystical site in the mountains of Peru that was built by the Incas. In 1911, American Hiram Bingham was already asking himself, how is it possible that here, in the middle of the mountains and jungle at an altitude of almost 2,500 meters above sea level, the pre-Columbian indigenous people were able to construct buildings of such perfection that even a sheet of paper could not be inserted between the heavy stones they're made of. Aside from this mystery of ancient engineering, Machu Picchu is also a place where energy fields allegedly intersect. This ancient city in Peru shows that our ancestors had the ability to utilize ethereal energy fields. Like many other spiritual, holy places around the world, Machu Picchu was built on a site of strong energy concentration. According to many researchers, Machu Picchu, one of the 7 wonders of the world, can be called one of the world's chakras. These places are not only able to heal people who visit them, they're also said to have a positive effect on the whole planet. The healing solution made from local orchids is sought after by many pilgrims visiting Machu Picchu, and shamans and healers go there to seek visions and strength. Many pilgrims who visited Machu Picchu said they felt their life journey had been leading them there. Local shamans experienced a similar feeling. It's like we've known each other for years, said one pilgrim, despite the fact he was visiting Machu Picchu for the first time. To this day, Machu Picchu continues to be a source of amazement, but also of mystery, as we are still not certain why it was built. Stonehenge. Stonehenge is undoubtedly the most mysterious place in Great Britain, if not in the world. To this day, no one knows who built this gigantic stone structure, and more importantly, for what purpose. In 2007, a surprising discovery was made in the vicinity of Stonehenge. Archaeologists found the remains of a village. Soon, theories about Stonehenge serving as a burial ground started to appear. Some researchers even claim that Stonehenge was the burial ground for ancient kings. However, archaeological findings support the theory that this structure served as a place of pilgrimage for the sick, based on the broken and fractured skeletons found nearby. This theory is drawn from an ancient legend that the giant stones were transported from Ireland for their healing power by the sorcerer Merlin, the famous figure from the legends of King Arthur. Another legend tells of one specific stone that lies on the edge of the Stonehenge complex, which has been called the heel stone. The theory that Stonehenge was a place for healing the sick may suggest the etymology of the name heel stone. The blue stones that form the main section of the monument reportedly have healing powers, which made Stonehenge a popular place of pilgrimage for the wounded and sick in the Neolithic age. Some who visit Stonehenge say that it has huge magical influence. Individual stones supposedly radiate a mysterious light that can be seen on photographs as a faint blue mist. The Dead Sea. Today, we know that salt baths have cleansing and detoxifying effects on the body. In ancient times, when medicine was still in its infancy, the effects of the Dead Sea were attributed to miracles. The Dead Sea, located on the border of Jordan and Israel, was a place of magical healing. The Dead Sea is considered to be one of the oldest spa resorts. It was reportedly discovered for the first time by Herod the Great, before the first millennium, and the Egyptian queen Cleopatra is said to have promoted its healing and cosmetic effects. Bathing in the waters of the Dead Sea supports blood circulation and cell regeneration, and people feel a sense of relaxation thanks to the effects of iodine and bromine.
I come every year to treat my chronic eczema and pain in the joints. I arrived 3 weeks ago, and the results are similar to before, and I do not have to use a medication that has side effects.
The unquestionable health benefits are not limited to the sea itself. The black mud and hot sulphurous springs along the coast are used in the treatment of several skin conditions and arthritis. According to legend, the ruins of Sodom and Gomorrah, the biblical cities of sin destroyed by God, lie at the bottom of the Dead Sea. But if you plan to visit the Dead Sea, don't delay. Every month, the level of the Dead Sea decreases by 6 centimeters. At this rate, the sea will disappear in 35 years. The Ganges. holy river Ganges is the largest and most famous river in India. But it's also full of paradoxes in regard to its healing power. The river itself appears quite dirty. This is due to the sewage from the city of Varanasi being discharged into the water. Daily, hundreds of thousands of people, some of whom are afflicted by leprosy, cholera or hepatitis, bathe in it, and bodies of the dead are brought to its sacred banks for cremation. Their ashes are cast into the river. Nevertheless, pilgrims still drink water from the river Ganges with no ill effects. Locals believe that the water from the river Ganges is Amrita, an elixir of life which purifies all living things and brings peace to the deceased. Hindus believe that the river is the earthly incarnation of the goddess Ganga. According to legend, Ganga was a daughter of the sky who answered the prayers of the king Bhagirath, whose ancestors lived in strict asceticism for 3 generations to rid themselves of sin. Ganga descended to earth from heaven in Gangotri and took the form of a river, in which the king could perform a ritual cleansing bath. Today, the cleansing bath is performed by 2 million people every day. For some unknown reason, the water of the river Ganges does not contain bacteria from diseases. Some theories state that only bacteria that destroy harmful microbes can survive in it. Other theories claim it's because of the clean Himalayan glacier from which the river springs. Hindus, however, do not hold any theories. They simply say that the river is sacred. Many are convinced that the river can wash away their sins, and so thousands of pilgrims flood to the river every year to purify themselves, some throwing the ashes of their deceased loved ones into the river in the belief that the sacred water will guide their souls to paradise. Saut-d'Eau. Thousands of pilgrims from all over Haiti undertake a religious journey to the Saut-d'Eau waterfall in the mountains of Hispaniola. In the first half of July, during the Christian festival of the Virgin Mary of Carmel, the village of Villebonheur transforms into the spiritual center of the country. Legend has it that 150 years ago the Virgin Mary appeared here, near the waterfall in the palm trees. A French priest, fearing that superstition related to the vision could spark violence among the baptized population still practicing African rituals, had the palm trees around the waterfall cut down. However, this did not prevent the creation of a syncretic cult. Saut-d'Eau became the most important place of pilgrimage in Haiti for all practitioners of voodoo, and the Virgin Mary of Carmel became a spiritual patron of the country.
Well, I know Vierge Miracle is the mother of all. You know, she performs miracles, and whenever you come to her and you ask for something, you shall receive.
The pilgrims perform a cleansing ritual under the 100-meter-high waterfall. First, there's the physical cleansing, and then the spiritual. People bring flowers or light candles. Others enter the waterfall with just soap and fragrant herbs, which they carefully rub on their bodies while chanting prayers in Creole. The pilgrims believe that the water has magical properties. They hold their hands up to the sky while they bathe and ask the gods to mend broken relationships, heal diseases, or for good fortune. Some even collapse in spasms, overwhelmed by their own emotions. But the locals believe they are being possessed by the spirit of the gods. Either way, Saut-d'Eau is always full of mystery and emotion. Medugorje. Medugorje is a world-famous place of pilgrimage in the Balkan state of Bosnia and Herzegovina. It's second only to Lourdes in the number of Catholic pilgrims that come to visit every year. On the 24th of June 1981, the Virgin Mary allegedly appeared here to 6 teenagers. What happened to me that day was the greatest gift I could receive on earth, because I met the Lady. The apparition supposedly happened on a hill called Crnica, between the cities of Medugorje and Biakovici. The Virgin Mary, known as Gospa here, was dressed in white robes and held a baby in her arms. The next day, 4 of the original 6 teenagers felt compelled to visit the hill again, and were joined by 2 other people. The vision repeated itself. The teenagers prayed and spoke with the Virgin Mary. Her message to them was to establish peace in the world. Since then, the Virgin Mary has supposedly appeared every day, however, only to a single person at a time, telling them secrets of the future. From the time the apparitions began until 1990, the original teenagers saw the Virgin Mary almost every day. The Virgin Mary did not always appear in the same place every time, and her apparitions varied in length. Sometimes they lasted only 2 minutes, sometimes an hour. These apparitions have been criticized by many, and to this day they have not been officially acknowledged by the Church or the Pope. But this doesn't deter the millions of pilgrims who visit each year, and stories of miracles continue to appear. The last one documented was that a 30-year-old stone statue of the Virgin Mary, in the possession of one of the original witnesses of the apparition, inexplicably started to shine with a mysterious light. Table Mountain. Table Mountain dominates Cape Town in South Africa. The mountain was sacred to the Khoikhoi and San people, who were the original inhabitants of the Cape. They called it RECOVERIES, or Mountain of the Sea, and it's considered South Africa's most iconic landmark. The mountain is said to be one of 12 main centers of spiritual energy on the planet, and many celebrities have come to visit this legendary mountain. It's been said that John Lennon went to Table Mountain several times in the 1970s to meditate and let himself be engulfed in its positive energy. The mountain is the centerpiece of Table Mountain National Park, and its mysterious roots extend far into the ancient past. Some believed that the mountains were a physical representation of the Roman god Janus. Janus was considered to be a symbol of change and transformation, able to simultaneously see the past and the future. Table Mountain is viewed as a guardian of Africa, which controls those who come from the west to the east, from the old world to the new. Table Mountain is not only the symbol of Cape Town, it's viewed by many as a symbol of the Republic of South Africa. It's regarded as a place with very strong energy. Locals say there are 2 streams running inside the mountain which accumulate enormous energy, amplifying the mental abilities of its visitors and possessing its own healing power. This makes Table Mountain an ideal place for practicing various methods of alternative medicine. Some researchers claim that the mountain is made of special crystals that create the calm and relaxed atmosphere of Cape Town. After all, the inhabitants of the city often send their relatives who do not live there the energy of Table Mountain. The Basilica of Our Lady of Guadalupe. Mexico is home to a healing place, or rather, in this case, a healing object, a cloak with the image of Our Lady of Guadalupe. The image was reportedly created in 1531, when it appeared on the tilma, or outer garment, of a native Mexican by the name of Juan Diego. According to reports at the time, the image of the Virgin Mary had Native American features, dark skin, and spoke with Juan Diego in the Aztec language. It's the most famous and revered image in not just Mexico, but the whole of South America. Pilgrims believe that the image can heal practically any disease. Some people hold the image in such high esteem that they crawl on their knees in penitence for several miles to the Basilica to show respect to the Virgin Mary.
Now I come because of a promise I made for another penance, for another plea.
Our Lady of Guadalupe predominantly attracts people who have alcohol problems. They go to the Basilica of Our Lady of Guadalupe and make a promise that they'll stop drinking alcohol for 1 year, or stop drinking entirely. Most are able to fulfill their promise. The healing power of the image of Our Lady of Guadalupe has a strong tradition. Mexicans are so devoted to it that on the 12th of December they celebrate the festival of Our Lady of Guadalupe. From the end of the 17th century, the cloak was displayed in the Tepeyac chapel. But because of the enormous increase in visitors, it had to be moved from the chapel to a basilica, and later to a new basilica which resembles a football stadium. How long will it be before even this basilica is too small to accommodate the Virgin Mary's visitors? Mystical rainforests. Nature undoubtedly has a healing effect on the human body, and the Amazon rainforest abounds in nature. Local tribespeople and Catholic missionaries are convinced that there still are undiscovered plants in the Amazon jungles that could change the world. However, these plants are already well known to the Indian shamans. For the Indians, the jungles and mountain forests have always been sacred. Mountain forests contain many biochemical treasures and unbelievably potent medicines. An enormous variety of healing plants can be found in the rainforest, which is also known as the lungs of the earth. Almost half of the medicinal drugs regularly used in medicine come from these rainforests. Several people who visited the shamanic rituals in the Amazon have witnessed miraculous healings. Shamanic wisdom claims that nature is the purest form of energy that has no equal in medicine. For example, the drink ayahuasca, which is prepared by shamans from the Amazon, not only has cleansing and purifying properties, but also a whole range of almost magical effects. The person discovers through the tea what it is that she or he is doing that is not correct or adequate, that needs improvement. Families are reconstructed. People drop the use of alcoholic drinks. The drink is prepared from a broth made of liana, mixed with other plants which produce the healing effects of ayahuasca. Ayahuasca is a psychotropic substance that enhances human consciousness. It's used for treating drug addiction, psychological trauma and pain, among other things. No wonder people in the Amazon believe there is no one who can heal the sick as well as a shaman. Places with healing power. Are all these places really miraculous? That's a question we must answer for ourselves. Either way, the history of these places is so fascinating and full of unbelievable stories that they're worth visiting, even for those who do not believe in alternative medicine. Perhaps then, the secrets of these incredible healing places will be revealed.